Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling something huge, something that's really changing the game for how brands connect. I'm talking about the explosion of AI in content creation. It's an incredibly powerful tool, no question there, but also brings up a really central challenge, doesn't it? How do you actually use all that AI power without, losing your brand's unique voice, that human connection?
That really is the million-dollar question. It's fascinating, actually. Our sources are showing that, get this, something like 65% of B2B marketers, they're already using generative AI, mostly for productivity, scaling things up,
Hmm.
which makes sense. But there's a pretty significant downside that often gets missed. Brands that skip that human oversight step, we're seeing data suggesting maybe a 30% drop in lead quality from their content within 6 months.
Wow, 30%. That's stark. And it really throws into sharp relief what we're here to unpack today, doesn't it? Our mission for this deep dive is to get into that very paradox. How do you scale up with AI, get all that efficiency, but stay, genuinely authentic? We're going to pull out the key insights from the material we've looked at, help you navigate this tricky new landscape, and hopefully turn what looks like a risk into, a real advantage. So let's start with the why. Authenticity and branding. It feels more important than ever with AI everywhere. But why? Like, specifically, what are the real benefits beyond just, feeling good?
Well, a huge piece is trust. Authenticity is just an irreplaceable trust builder. And trust, I mean, that's everything, right?
Yeah.
Especially in B2B or industries where sensitivity is key. The research backs this up. Brands seen as really authentic. They achieve customer loyalty rates about 2.5 times higher than the brands perceived as, fake. It's the foundation for building those meaningful, long-lasting connections.
That makes total sense. And it's not just building trust, is it? It's also about avoiding becoming what some people are calling a zombie brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those completely automated kind of soulless presences online. People are getting really good at spotting that stuff. Like, they have a sixth sense for content without a real pulse behind it. And it just pushes audiences away, right? Nobody wants to talk to a robot pretending not to be one.
Absolutely. Zombie repellent, I like that. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, authenticity gives you a real, sustainable, competitive edge. Authentic brands, they don't just talk about their values, they live them through their stories, their empathy. And those are things AI fundamentally just can't make up from scratch. Doesn't have values or empathy. That's what makes a brand stand out, become memorable in a, let's face it, very crowded market.
Yeah, that really highlights why this isn't just, marketing fluff. It's actually core strategy now. Okay, so if we accept authenticity is crucial, the big question becomes how? How do we actually do it? How do we build that effective partnership between human creativity and AI efficiency?
Right, this is where, the rubber meets the road. It really boils down to a clear human plus AI partnership model. First, think about using AI for the, let's call it heavy lifting. So tasks like doing massive amounts of research, crunching data, maybe generating those very first rough drafts. But, and this is crucial, it always needs human oversight, always. AI gives you a starting block, maybe, but a human has to be steering right from the get-go.
Okay, AI for the grunt work, that tracks. But is there a risk there? Like, even with oversight, could those AI first drafts kind of subtly pull the brand voice off track before you even notice? How do you make sure the human really is in the driver's seat from the very start?
That's a really good question. And it leads right into the next essential practice, brand infusion. You can't just take the AI output and tweak it. You need to actively enhance it. Inject your brand-specific tone, the stories only your company has, your unique creative angle. Think of it like a chef. An assistant might prep all the ingredients perfectly, but it's the head chef who adds the signature spices, the technique that makes it their dish. That's the human infusion part, taking the AI's raw material and making it distinctly yours. And then there's the step you absolutely cannot skip, the human touch. This means detailed, careful editing by a human, someone who ensures the final piece actually reflects real human experiences, real emotions. AI can string words together, sure, but it takes a human to make sure those words connect, resonate, feel, real.
And something interesting from the sources, a kind of pro tip, was about transparency, actually being open about using AI, maybe a little disclaimer, like AI-assisted content. Apparently, that can actually build trust, not break it. It shows you're upfront, not trying to pull a fast one, which for a lot of people signals integrity. Okay, this is making sense conceptually. Let's maybe make it more concrete. Can we talk about some real-world examples? How are companies actually doing this balancing act?
Yeah, definitely. A really good example comes from marketing teams for senior living communities. They use AI pretty effectively for things like analyzing market trends, figuring out common questions prospective residents and their families have, even automating some routine emails so it streamlines that initial contact stuff. But they have a strict policy. All the final marketing materials, especially the ones aimed at families making huge decisions. They are heavily infused with personal stories, resident testimonials, and all of that is curated, polished, finalized by human marketers. It has to be, because preserving that deep emotional connection is just non-negotiable in that field. Take out the human stories, and the message is lost.
That's a really powerful case where that warmth is just essential. And then there's another approach mentioned, woven agency. Their strategy sounded interesting. They start somewhere different. They actually define their core brand values first, like really nail them down internally. And only then do they start using AI, making sure everything it helps generate is meticulously aligned back to those core values. So it's a values-first process and ensures every message, even if AI helped draft it, feels authentic and truly on brand. It's not just generation, it's deliberate alignment. Okay, so we've got the partnership model, some great examples, but let's drill down one more level. Why fundamentally is the human element still so critical in this AI world? What is it exactly that AI just can't do?
It's really important to grasp this. AI can generate text that's, grammatically perfect. It can even sound statistically coherent based on all the data it's trained on. But it fundamentally lacks lived experience. It lacks common sense reasoning. It cannot replicate genuine empathy. AI operates on patterns, on correlations and data. It doesn't understand things like joy or loss or hope, not like a human does. And that's why it struggles. It can't create that deep emotional resonance from a place of real feeling. It can't recall personal stories with genuine emotion. It can't build those nuanced connections that really only come from human consciousness, that depth. That's uniquely human.
That really hammers it home. Authenticity isn't about not using AI. It's about using it to amplify your unique perspective.
Yeah.
Using it smartly, responsibly, like a tool, to let your distinct voice, your real perspective, shine through even brighter. Instead of letting it get washed out by generic, automated stuff, it's about being more you, amplified.
It's exactly right. The goal here, the ideal outcome, if we connect all these dots, is what we might call the perfect blend. You're combining AI's speed and efficiency, which is undeniable, with that irreplaceable human warmth, insight, and creativity. That's how you create brand experiences that are modern, scalable, and deeply authentic. Best of both worlds, really.
Right. So if we were to summarize everything we've sort of uncovered in this deep dive, this whole authentic AI strategy, it really comes down to embracing AI as maybe a superpowered assistant. Not a replacement for your voice, your brand's soul. It's a tool meant to help you be heard more clearly, not to dilute what makes you unique.
That's the heart of it. So for you listening, the key actions seem pretty clear from our sources. Prioritize transparency, be open about AI's role. Dedicate real time to careful human editing, that infusion and refinement step. And always lean into rich, personal, human storytelling. Those are the things that build real trust and make you stand out.
Okay, and maybe here's a final thought to leave you with, something to chew on. Your authenticity. That's ultimately your most powerful competitive advantage. Always has been, always will be. And maybe, just maybe, using AI strategically isn't about replacing humans, but about freeing up your valuable time. Freeing it up not for more robotic tasks, but for more creativity, more strategic thinking, and, crucially, more genuine human connection. What could that unlock for your brand?